Welcome back to Sorta Sophisticated, the podcast where we make you feel like you know things without making it feel like homework. Look, the whole idea here is we're trying to make learning fun, right?
It is fun, and I, for one, love it, so it doesn't matter what anyone else thinks.
It doesn't.
Because I use this shit all the time. So go us.
Yes!
So I'm Amanda, and I'm here with Pete, as always.
Hello, people.
And today we are going to jump straight back into part 2 of our 3-part series with our dear friend, well, now my dear friend. I'm totally stealing him from you.
Totally. We love Alex.
Alex. And if you listen to part 1, you already know he has one heck of a story.
Oh my God, yes, totally. And if you haven't heard part 1 yet, we highly, in bold, people, recommend going back and catching up. Because we're not doing a recap, people. We're just dropping right back in here. No preamble, no context. Just Alex mid-thought, like you never left. Let's get ready.
I mean, well, technically that's because he is actually mid-thought right now.
Wait, what?
Yes, well, we recorded this whole conversation in one go, and Alex isn't here to reintroduce himself. So you're just going to have to keep up.
Uh-oh. I think I'm screwed.
Yeah, usually.
Yeah, that's kind of like getting up to go take a whiz during a dinner party and then walking back into a conversation like nothing ever happened, but they changed the topic like 3 times and I have no idea where we're at. We're in trouble.
We are so not in trouble.
Where the hell are we?
No,
Please tell me I'm freaking out a little bit.
No, you have to have confidence
Go.
in my editing skills.
Oh, I totally do.
Goodness gracious.
Okay, fine.
All right, so here's a little context for you. If you remember last time, we left off right as we were about to ask Alex how the Bible and transcribing it in Russian and the radio had anything to do with how he came to the United States.
Oh my God, yes. No, I totally remember that, right? Like that was absolutely batshit crazy because we were like, dude, what does that have to do with it? And he's like, oh, I got another story about Russian Bibles and another story. He had like 4 or 5 stories about Russian Bibles. What a badass mofo. Okay, let's rip the Band-Aid. Just cue Alex. Let's just go. Let's just start. Go.
Okay, wait, hold on, but we got to do word of the day first.
Oh my God. Holy crap, you're right. We got to do that shit.
Yes.
How are we
we're gonna forget.
How are we gonna pull off word of the like? How are we going to work word of the day in?
It's going to sound perfect. Don't worry. The editing will make it all better.
Okay, fine. Dude, can we just use the same word of the day as last time? Whatever like that was. What was it?
Histrionics?
Oh my God, yes, that one. Yes!
No, it's not going to be histrionics.
Oh, okay, fine. What do you got? Then you got a new word? Like, I didn't come up with a word?
Yes, we have a new one.
What? Like, you are so thoughtful that you're like trying to figure out how to fix all this. Go, what is it?
Pernicious.
Pernicious. Oh my God, pernicious. That sounds totally like an STD. Like, right? Like, excuse me, doctor. It's all itchy down there. I think I got pernicious again. I'm going to need some cream.
One, I have so many questions.
What is?
And
okay,
2, you're
what?
disgusting.
Well,
Okay.
Really? That goes without saying. We know that.
Yeah.
Yes.
But you're kind of randomly kind of close.
Aha! See? I knew
a
it.
A little. But
What?
it's not an STD or anything.
What is it?
It actually means something that's subtly harmful or destructive over time. Like it doesn't hit you all at once. It just slowly wears you down.
Oh my God, so it's totally like an STD.
No, some of those things
yes,
like
it
knock
is.
you
I
on
got
your
this.
ass.
Okay,
No,
let's
some of
see.
them put you on your ass.
Let's see how you edit this in. Okay? Are we good to go? Can we start now? This is
We
going to be
are.
amazing. Oh my
Okay,
God, I
let's go.
love this one.
Okay, so we left off where Alex was supposed to be explaining what all the Bible smuggling stories had to do with immigrating to the United States, but he just had too many stories and we didn't quite get there. So here we go. I'll ask again, officially. What does all of this have to do with immigrating to the United States?
So, and the last one about this, smuggling Bibles and smuggling the Word of God into Russia, was that we also had a shortwave radio station in Quito, Ecuador. Now, you know the equator is the half of
Quito.
the world.
How did you have? Who did you know in Quito?
Well, the community.
The Slavic community.
The Slavic community, right?
You were connected, dude.
So,
Okay.
and we became a force, right? Everybody just got I guess, excited about doing something to try to get the word into Russia.
Yeah.
Because there were Russian Christians over there suffering.
So when is it? Sorry, this is 1970?
Yeah,
past
69, 70, 72, 73, 74.
Right. Okay, yeah, gotcha.
Right?
Okay, go ahead, yeah.
So, this, they told us that short waves are?
Yes.
Yeah, shortwave radio. Before computers, before internet, before everything else, they told us that if you put a shortwave transmitter on the equator, then you can bounce off the shortwave signals all the way 6 times on the crust of the earth, all the way to Siberia, right? So that's how it works. And so these guys from the United States, from the Gospel Association, would come in, and I was just so impressed because they would bring a Sony reel-to-reel recorder.
Mm-hmm.
They would give us a Bible in Russia, and they go, okay, we're 8, 9, 10, 11 years old. Start reading passages of the Bible in Russian, and they would record it.
Wow.
And
So
just
we
start
did.
bouncing that shit over to Russia.
Right. And we didn't know why they picked us.
Damn.
But there's a twist to it, right? So the word was getting all the way to Siberia. I'm going to fast forward. And in the year 2000, 1999, actually, 3 months before Y2K, I was already in the States. And I'll get to how I got to the States and everything else
We
later.
were already best friends.
But I was asked to go as an interpreter and translator for a group of...
To Siberia. I remember
To
this.
Siberia.
Oh, my God. I remember when you went.
Yeah.
That's why you went.
They needed people who spoke Russian. I was a Rotarian at the time. Long story short, while I was there, I said, hey, is there a Christian church anywhere here? And they said, yeah, Wednesday nights they meet at this apartment house. So I went over there and they were having service. So I stand up, I introduce myself, and they go, hey, great, welcome, God bless you, and everything else. And then after this service, I said, I looked at an old man in the back of the church. Because remember, I'm talking...
Yeah, you were 9 years old. You were translating shortwave radio in Argentina through Ecuador, all the way over there. I'm picking this up.
And now it's Y2K, so everybody has a computer.
Right. Yeah.
So I look at this old man, and he says, yeah, I'm one of the elders in this church. And I said, hey, Vladimir. I go,
yeah. Do you remember?
Do you know who I am?
No shit.
He goes, how can I know who you are? You're half American. You speak with an accent. You come here. You say greetings from California.
Right.
How can I?
Pour me a vodka.
Well, I go, when I was a little kid, I go, we had a shortwave radio station in Ecuador. And he went like this. He did the call letters for the radio. He went HCJB, the voice of the Andes. Every Wednesday night, we got the word of God. He says, we were lucky. We were listening to the message.
Yeah, I don't even know
and
what to
then
say.
you kids couldn't read Russian fast enough or good enough, but we were handwriting what you were writing and correcting your mistakes and your pronunciation.
Holy shit.
It's crazy.
Oh, my God.
In this day, I can't even, that gives me chills.
It's like full circle.
That is the best story I've ever heard. Oh, my God. I love that. Okay, I have a question, though. Don't get me wrong. I love your stories because they're really good. But you have to explain what this all has to do with, immigrating to the United States. Because Amanda asked you about an hour ago, so why America? And you went through this whole thing, and I loved it. So now get us on track and talk to me a little bit about how you got here.
So like I told you, I decided on my own about 14, 15 that not in Argentina, because I was already split. I was, half European, half Argentinian. I didn't really know much about the Argentinian
And you
culture.
were about to become half American.
And
that's three halves.
And I said, right.
That's a very large person.
A third, and a third.
Holy shit. That's 150%. Okay, go ahead.
So I go, okay, well, in a year or two, I was going to graduate from high school. I have to look for a university that will take me. Amanda, the universities in Argentina, all of them, because by that time, the militaries had stepped back. But this new era of Marxism-Leninism came into play. They called it socialism. But just as the fall leaves in the middle of a park, all of the universities had tracts, pamphlets, paper. All of the professors had long Fidel Castro beards. You could not get an education unless you were leaning left. And I said, that's not what my parents left. My parents left Russia just because of that, right? And I said, that's not my place. Yeah. So knowing what America was doing for us, for our community, I said, I think I want to leave Argentina because I didn't choose to
go there,
be born there.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And so my only out was at that age, because I'm, under 18, was to go to my mom and dad and saying, just like my three brothers ahead of me were missionaries and preachers and pastors, I want to be in the ministry too, just to get out and go to a Baptist seminary in the United States.
Ah.
So I went to an American missionary, Lyle Eggleston. Will never forget his name.
Change your life.
Cheers to Lyle Eggleston.
And he knew me, and he knew that I was also.
I would have never have met you if it wasn't for good old Lyle.
I know. So he goes, I think I can get you a student visa to go to Baptist seminary in the United States. I said, that's my ticket. I want to be a preacher.
Preacher man.
Hey.
You know what, dude?
Get me the visa.
By the way, all these years later, you would have been an excellent preacher. I mean, you did some preaching, don't get me wrong, but I'm just saying, you're that good.
Yes. So I'm not a minister, right?
Alex, you can tell a story like nobody else.
By vocation, I guess I am.
Did you come to SoCal or no?
So no, when I decided to come here on a student visa, obviously Argentina was going through 1,500% inflation, hyperinflation.
Gosh.
So it was impossible to live there. So I got a visa, right, to a student visa, and the only I guess affordable school was in El Paso, Texas.
We call it the El Paso retirement plan in my
God.
office
Oh my
Why?
God.
Because it's cheap to live there?
because it's so cheap.
Really?
Yeah.
El Paso. You went to El Paso,
El
Texas.
Paso.
You're a Russian Argentine, and you go to El Paso, Texas.
It's the southernmost tip of the
Oh my God.
Gulf of America.
This is excellent.
That's
Well played. Well
That was
played.
awesome.
that's where the wind turns around. I mean, it's like the end of the
the earth. I get it.
of the earth of America. J.C. Penney's had signs on the door saying "We speak English here." I mean,
Holy
this
crap.
is
All right.
Latino community huge.
So what'd you do? You went to J.C. Penney College?
So I went to Rio Grande.
Rio Grande.
Rio
Grande.
Rio Grande.
Oh my God, this is classic.
Right? I went
Okay.
to Rio Grande.
Yeah.
A bunch of Texans trying to
Right, a bunch of white people and you.
Right, trying to
Okay.
teach, a bunch of Latino guys
Oh, okay,
how,
yeah.
how to be, preachers.
Yeah.
And I said, I'm not Latino, and but this is cheap, so I'll stay here for a
Yeah.
semester. Pretty soon, I called California because I had a lot of Slavics, Russians that left Argentina and already settled in California. They were all pretty well off, and they had a Russian Baptist church in Hollywood.
I didn't realize your Russian Baptist church connection ran so deep through your whole story.
Oh.
Like, this is how you get around.
Oh.
It's like your network.
Oh,
That's
believe me.
amazing.
When
I don't mean to throw you off, but why'd you come out to SoCal? Like,
Yeah,
what brought you here?
so impossible to forge a future in Argentina with the turmoil, with the hyperinflation, with all of the problems, political problems, and I knew that in my heart that system of government or political or whatever wasn't what I wanted for my life. I wanted freedom. I wanted freedom of expression. I wanted to have the good things that Americans had. As a matter of fact, in Argentina, we were prohibited from listening to rock and roll from the United States.
You didn't listen to Elvis?
No, we were listening to.
What? By that time, dude, let's get serious. We're in the 70s already. We are in like yacht rock land already.
Yeah,
Let's go.
And we're listening to like old Frank Sinatra or whatever. So all of the American music that I heard in Argentina was about 10 years old.
Well, I get that. I mean, that sort of makes sense. How'd you get on it? What'd you do? Hop on a plane? How, you had no money. You're going to Rio Grande. Some
Right.
guy tells you, Lyle Eagleson, God bless him.
Right.
But like, then you leave him. Like, how the hell did you get out here?
So
Greyhound?
So I called my aunt in California and I said, I can't
Petra?
stand it here. Right. So my aunt Maria. And
Okay.
she goes, okay, well, I'll get the Russians, our church to prepay an airplane ticket. If you go to
Damn Russian Orthodoxes again.
Right.
They're taking care of you.
If you go to McAllen Airport, right, you're going to have a ticket waiting for you at the counter. That, to me, that blew my mind. I mean, in Argentina, you would have to go and triple notarize a ticket to buy a ticket. And over here, you can walk up to a counter and a ticket to your name was waiting for you to get on an airplane.
That's America, brother. Let's go.
Incredible, right? So I said goodbye. I left. I came to California, and
You land in
Rosemead, California.
Rosemead, California.
Right.
People, shout out to
El
Rosemead.
Monte, right? El Monte, right?
Let's go.
So Santa Anita and Rosemead
All right.
and all of that. So all of that hood,
Yeah.
was now my new home.
Okay. I love that. And then
So-
you had to be since the
So-
Russians took care of you had to be a preacher boy.
So that
You're
right,
still
so-
preaching.
Oh yeah. So then they said, okay, well, we give you work in construction, we give you work in carpentry, and all of the businesses that they started here. We're gonna pay for your tuition at California Baptist College.
Oh,
at
Cal
that time.
Baptist.
Right.
Out in Riverside.
Now it's CBU, California
yeah.
Baptist University. But there was a caveat. And, I hate caveats because they're almost like a moral obligation.
This is a tit for tat.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So they said, okay, you can go to college there.
What is this?
And-
What is this? Was in Silence of the Lambs. Quid pro quo.
Right.
Quid pro quo.
Sure.
Go ahead. What was the quid pro quo?
So we help you get through college, but every Sunday you come here and you preach to our children Sunday school in Russian.
In Russian.
In Russian.
In Russian.
Good. Right.
There it is. I love
Sure,
it.
because
But that's like not the worst possible thing that they
No,
could have
not at
asked
all.
for.
Let's
Well,
go.
it is when you have a Buick Electra 225 with a 457 engine that it was like, I don't know, half a mile to the gallon.
Okay, fair.
And
How much was petrol here in the United States?
you're an idiot.
Sorry. Well, sorry. So, like, what'd you do? Like, how'd you make money?
So from 5 o'clock in the morning until first class, which was 7:30, 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
I got up. I went to Chino and Norco, and I worked in the dairy farm. And my job was after all of the cows
You was
were
milking
milked.
the cow's teats.
No, after they were milked,
Uh-huh.
there was a healthy 3, 4, 6 inches of poop.
Oh.
So I put
You were
this
shoveling
overall.
it.
I put this overall in a high pressure hose.
You were shoveling shit.
And
Shoveling shit, going to
Dude.
Cal Baptist University, and then being a Russian preacher on Sundays.
you got it.
Okay, I love this story.
And I showed up for the first class in the morning, smelling like a cowboy. And I had a bumper
gaucho. You were a
Right.
gaucho.
I had a bumper sticker in my car that says, "I'm not a cowboy. I just found the hat."
Well, then how long did it take you to get a green card?
Because that's your student visa still, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So oh god. So I'm in America, right? Total culture shock. Obviously, I wanted nothing to do with speaking Russian, but I had to do it. I wanted nothing to do with speaking Spanish because I knew it well. I said, I just want to be a white boy. I want to be American. I want to be
You want to
here.
assimilate.
I want to assimilate. I want to, I guess, de-socialized and re-socialized in the American way. Harder than what I ever tried. Harder than speaking a language or learning words or whatever is to try to assimilate into a new culture.
Fast forward 45 years, you did amazing. You're excellent. You nailed it.
So from far away.
There you go. Spoiler alert. You nailed it. All right, sorry. Get back to your green card.
So I kept extending my student visa.
Okay.
But here's where it got really, really hard. So I was doing both sociology and religion. Then I changed my major to business. But after a few years, your student visa expires. So I applied for a green card under a conversion from student visa to a green card.
Yeah.
That process took me 11 years.
Wow.
So is it easier now or harder now? Like, is that 11 years
No,
seems
it's
like
still the
insane.
same. It's still the same.
Okay. All
You
right.
wait forever.
Pain in the ass.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Trump didn't fix anything?
Not yet.
Not yet? Okay.
Not yet.
All right.
The hardest thing is you can't leave because
You
you're
leave, you can't
applying
come
for
back.
this, right?
Yeah.
If you leave, you can't come
Oh,
back.
shit. Yeah. Okay.
So by that time, I started my carpet cleaning business when I was in college. I bought a house. My father passed away, and I couldn't go bury him. If I left, I would leave everything that I did here.
Oh, my God.
And
That's
never come back.
terrible. I didn't see. This is the problem with me. Like, I just grew up here and don't know any different. And you had to totally make a really hard choice.
No,
That
it's
sucks.
Yeah. When you drive
Because
every
you knew
day
you
to go to
couldn't
work,
get back in.
and
Oh my God!
and
I
you
never thought about it that. You just hit me. You hit me square in the face with that.
Peter,
What?
I used to look at guys
Yeah.
going to work, right, drinking a Tecate at 7 o'clock in the morning, and I said, these people
MFers.
were born here,
Right.
with an American passport in their hands,
Right.
and they're drinking beer,
They don't-
and I'm going to work, and
they
they
don't,
don't know.
They don't appreciate
This
it.
is priceless.
I mean, I really don't want to know what you think of my generation onward
Right. Probably
because
not, right?
I mean, I have a connection with this,
Right.
being from an immigrant parent.
Right.
And so, but even to think that your father passed and you couldn't go back. You
It's
had
the-
to make that choice.
It's the hardest thing that you can, just to be strong. So that's what I'm saying. Anybody can get here. They can just run down the hill and cross the river and be here. But if you really want to be American,
You got to
you
live
know,
the dream, though.
you got to
put the work.
and you got to put in the work.
Mhm.
It's absolutely right. It's absolutely right. Otherwise, and you talk to people that are worth millions, and you just think about it and say, well, they do because they saw the opportunity.
Yeah.
So there's no difference between one human and another here. The only thing that makes you different is opportunity. You
Yep.
put 100 guys in a line and you put in front of them opportunity, 10 guys will step up and 90 will step back and say, I don't want this.
Yeah.
But these keep staying here.
I think I'm a step backer.
No, you're not.
I don't know, man. Alex, you're giving it to me. So question about the whole like green card. Like, is there any did you get any shit for it? Was there any story because you're a good storyteller? You'd like flash it to people that, but what the hell are you doing here? Like, or no? It was. Just,
I know where you're going with this, but I was driving through Norco, California, and I guess I made the wrong turn, and a cop pulls me over. I get out of the van, and I was cleaning carpets, so I didn't know if I was breaking the law because I was cleaning carpets on a student visa. I had no idea what the guy would do to me, and so I started shaking. And the guy goes, "Why are you shaking?" And I said, "I came from Argentina, and I guess the next step is that you're going to beat me up with your baton over something wrong." And he looked at me. He's going, "Why do you say that?" Because I go, "That's the way it goes. You're supposed to hit me with your baton."
Because you grew up in a military state.
Correct.
So that was what
Where
you would expect.
The cops, right, do not represent the law. They
Yeah.
are the law. Another one is coming back from a Ukrainian wedding in Canada, which I'm not supposed to leave the country while I'm waiting for my visa,
Right.
for my green card. But a whole bunch of Ukrainians from our church decided to go to a Ukrainian wedding, 5-day Ukrainian wedding in Calgary, Canada. And we're coming back. It's like 0 degrees, right? On the way back, 2:00 in the morning. And 6 of my buddies are in the van. They all had green cards because it happened that they were Russian Argentinians like me. I was the only one with still a pending student visa. So I told my friend, and I said, "Let me drive across the border." He goes, "Are you kidding me? You don't have any papers." I said, "Well, I have a California driver's license, so let me drive." So we're driving across the border. We stopped at the gate, and this Canadian immigration officer comes out, shines a flashlight in my face, and they go, "Are you all American citizens?" And I said, "Well, I am. My buddies in the back are not." And they all had green cards.
Aha.
So they had to open the back of the van, everybody ruffling through their backpacks, looking at me, like cussing me out and everything else. They all pass the test. The guy goes, "Well, show me your driver's license." So I show him my driver's license. I go, "Oh, California, okay." Then he notices that in the driver's license said AR for previous license expired in Argentina. So he goes, "Oh, what state were you born?" And I look at him and
Arkansas.
I go, "Arkansas."
That's amazing.
Let's go.
I swear on my
It's a good thing you
puppy's
didn't say Arkansas,
I know.
or you would have been killed.
That's true.
He goes, "Oh, welcome to the United States." So I came right back in.
In
Yeah.
you go. Oh,
Yeah.
wait, so okay, so that's like
But
you're
that was before 9/11,
yeah,
right?
right.
So-
You're 19. You're like we're in the 70s. So 1970. Okay, so I gotta go political. So you get here, you're hanging out, you're 18, you're 20, whatever it is. I don't know where we're at. First presidential election. Like what you voted?
Oh my God!
Who
So,
was it?
Yeah, no.
What
So
was
I
it?
landed here, and
Nixon? No, it wasn't Nixon.
well, no, Nixon got ousted, so it was Ford, and then Ford was stepping out.
Ford took over for. Okay, so it was the Ford Carter.
right? Ford
Ford
Carter,
Carter.
right?
Okay,
So
okay.
Carter at the Democratic primary, right? He was running.
Pot, shout out. We did a whole
We did.
episode
We
on
did.
Carter.
On
He
Jimmy
just
Carter.
turned 100,
Really?
and then
Passed away.
he subsequently
Poor
decided
guy,
to
right.
kick the bucket.
Well, I basically had to root for him. I couldn't vote for him because I wasn't a citizen, but I was rooting for him. Why? Because he was a Baptist.
Aha.
Yes.
So I go, okay,
Yeah.
that's our boy.
That was
right?
our right time, right place president. We did a
Right.
whole thing on him. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You know,
That's wild.
yeah.
All right, so Carter was so
funny
at
thing
one-
about Carter.
Hey, wait, hold on. So wait, you were you once voted blue, my friend.
Well, in my
All
heart,
those
in my
years
heart,
ago.
right, in my heart.
Okay, sorry, we won't
Right.
get political. Sorry, you were going to tell a story. Sorry.
No, a story about Carter is that like in Argentina, if the president was going to speak, they basically just almost shut off your power. They shut off all the TV channels and everything else, and a big emblem from the government comes on TV and says the president is going to speak. Right, so there was a lot of fear and respect for the authority of the president or any cop down the street. But fast forward, Carter is the president. This is a funny story, by the way. And I'm watching the Johnny Carson show.
Yeah.
And Johnny Carson, in his opening monologue, starts making fun on national TV about Carter's hemorrhoids. I guess the president had hemorrhoids that week.
Yeah.
I still remember.
You had no idea what the hell was going on.
No. I got fearful.
You were right. You're frustrated.
I started looking at everybody in the room. They're all laughing. I'm looking at the front door saying, anytime the Gestapo is going to bust through the door and pick us up for laughing at Carter's hemorrhoids. That's how.
My God, that is
different.
Oh my God. You know what they say about hemorrhoids, don't you? They're totally pernicious. Yes, I just nailed it. Right? Like they're the king of like perniciousness. Perniciousness, is that even a word? TM. I just TM perniciousness. Let's go. They're totally like harmful and destructive over time. I just nailed that. I love that. Okay, good for me. Yay.
I love that you know so much about hemorrhoids.
Wait, wow.
You know, it is kind of wild, like as you tell this story, is just how here in America, and especially, people who are second, third generation here, like they don't have that fear, right? It's our right. We can say and do whatever we want.
Yeah.
We can be jerks to the next person, and
We can.
it's nobody can say anything. But people lived in fear of things that you might say that would come back on you. And what a privilege that we have here in America to be able to.
And this is
have
right. And this is me from a third world country. I didn't come from, like a totally communist controlled country. This is just a third world country with a demagogue that said, you're going to respect me because I'm a tyrant.
Right.
This is not
So
China,
then-
Russia. Go ahead.
So then what do you think about America in general? Was it a good choice overall that you came and
It was. And overall, I had to get, I guess, some balance because you can really be whoever you want here. I mean, you can be a terrorist. You can be, a depraved guy, or you could be president of the United States, or you could be a
Dope smoking son of a... Oh,
or
sorry.
dope smoking son of a gun.
Right. Yeah.
You are absolutely free to be whoever you want
So that was hard for you to figure out.
and to choose right. Correct.
Really?
Correct.
Fudge. That's crazy.
so then what'd you do after college?
So
Because you had to choose
Yeah,
at that point what you
right.
wanted to be.
started working construction. I started to appreciate things like other guys will tell me, you keep your nose to the grindstone, and
Yeah.
then somebody said, oh, have you ever read the book about the millionaire next door? He rides a station wagon. And I go, wow, and honestly, it's not your title, it's not who you become. A lot of friends became lawyers and doctors and such, right? And yet they were still paying their student loans when I was rolling into my second and third house
Yeah.
by working. So, have you ever read the book Outliers?
Yeah.
It's the people, right?
Yeah,
It's the people that open those doors for you. Because that's another option I had. Do I marry an American so I become a green card holder, or do I marry the person I want? And it so happened that the person that I really wanted and the person that wanted me was my friend from high school. My high school friend, not sweetheart. My high school friend from Argentina came to visit, and we said, hey, we're friends. So many years. How about if we just get married? And we both stay here waiting for some kind of a green card so we can become American citizens. So I married Sylvia in 1982.
We love Sylvia. Sylvia is awesome. And then you didn't necessarily drag her up here, but
No,
she wanted to visit.
She actually, what happened was funny, but she was a chaperone for Miss Argentina
Uh-huh.
in Puerto Rico, and Puerto
Okay.
Rico is USA, so
Yeah.
she got a USA visa. She thought that USA, it's all USA. Well, from Puerto Rico to California, it's like 5,000 miles.
Yeah.
And she goes, hey, are you going to be home? I have a U.S. visa. And I said, where are you going to be?
And you're like, yeah, I'm going to be home.
So,
Why
yeah,
don't
she
you
came
come
over to
my,
see me.
Come over to my place.
Right.
And then
said,
you Netflixed and chilled before there was Netflix.
why don't we get married a little
Right.
bit?
So let's do this.
See how...
So, like, how did you
By
know?
the way, just
what?
last week we had our 43rd anniversary.
Cheers to
43rd
you,
anniversary.
brother.
But
Let's
it's one of
go.
those marriages where you guys grew together.
Yeah.
Right?
love
Like
that.
you both started not with nothing because you had already started
Right.
your business and stuff, but you grew
Oh,
from
absolutely.
made the life that you guys wanted
Right.
together.
Right.
So then at what point in your life did you know that you made it?
When you made it here in America, brother.
Okay, there's one point I have to make. I was at
Yeah, go.
California Baptist College on the 3rd floor looking out my window. I didn't have enough money to go and buy another tube of toothpaste. And I'm looking out and I'm going, I wonder where I'm going to be in the year 2000 and if I'm going to have a car or not, because I didn't have a car going to college. And if I would have a house, because if it's hard to buy a tube of toothpaste, how much harder will it be to have things, right? To buy a bottle of whiskey, look out the front window and look at your car and swirl a glass of whiskey out of your own bar. I'll never forget that vision. I think that as soon as I started working for a restaurant chain, and they said, we'll pay you $1,150 a month plus all of the bonuses off of the profits you make, because I started as a general manager, and I could purchase my own car. And I said, with the stability, the economic stability that you have, I think that if I can achieve stability, then I can achieve security, and after security, I can achieve financial freedom. And in those stages, I knew that you could go maybe 5 to 7 to 10 years on each stage, but that I would be pretty comfortable without being.
So it started all the way back when you were probably in your early 20s.
Oh, absolutely.
But then it sort of cemented itself
right
as you moved on through sort of trying your own businesses and then ended up as a GM of restaurant chains. All right, so far you're like, I don't know, I'm trying to keep up, 27, maybe 28 years old. So go back to that time in your head. So looking back from that time, right? So we're maybe 1983, 1985, I don't know, around
Right.
there. What's the biggest takeaway you learned at that time? Not yet, not when you're this old, but back then, like when you moved to America, like by the early 80s. Biggest takeaway.
absolutely that there's stability, there's freedom, and there's a future. I mean, I don't care. The rest of Europe and Latin America, they enjoy long vacations or outings, or not going to work on a Monday morning because your favorite soccer team wins on a Sunday.
Right? Boca Juniors.
Right. And over here, like, people work Monday through Friday. But guess what? Those weekends, those long weekends, you have jet skis, you have motorhomes, you have the river, you have...
You can do whatever you want.
You can do whatever you want.
Yeah, I love
and
it.
that kept me going. And I said, I know that this lifestyle is secure. It's just great.
Good for you. I love that so far. We got to stop, though, because we got a whole to be continued for this one.
All right. We got to do our last to be continued for this one because we still got a ton of other shit to go over. And no one really wants to listen for more than like 40 minutes.
Well, I
we're
don't, 'cause
all
I have to go pee,
ADHD,
like, super
or
bad.
Pete has to pee.
Right.
I mean, we still have to get through having your kids, starting your career in the beauty industry, your missionary work, the Rotary Club, and then just all the other random wisdom you can share with us now that you have all this perspective.
So stick around, people. We'll have part 3 in a few weeks.
All right. So we're calling it a wrap for now then. And you know what time it is, right?
What time is it?
Fun fact time.
Fun fact. Have we added music to this yet? Fun fact.
No, we keep
Okay,
talking
fine.
about it, but we
All
haven't
right,
yet.
Okay, fine.
Okay, I know we don't really have any specific fun facts about Alex or anything, but did you maybe prep anything. I mean, last time I was Argentina. It was good.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Okay.
You
So
know
what do you
me.
got for this?
I always prep something.
I know you do. I got faith.
Not so pernicious anymore, am I?
Oh, I guess not.
Not so. Yeah. Okay.
Uh-uh.
I got nothing about Argentina this time because we already did that. But I picked a few fun facts on immigration instead.
Ooh,
I figured that might work.
Interesting.
Yeah?
Okay. Let's
Okay,
go.
go for it. All right. Okay, so to become a citizen of the United States, you have to pass something called a naturalization test. And it asks questions about history, government, and civics. Like, how many amendments does the Constitution have? It's 27, in case you were wondering. Fun fact, Amanda, more than 60% of Americans fail the test when given the same questions.
Yeah, because I would have failed number one.
Right, we suck. Okay, and yes, there are practice tests online, in case you were wondering.
I feel like this should be like part of our education
Like,
system.
so let's go take a test and see how we do. Yay.
Right.
I know. Okay. I think everybody should. If you want to be cultured and curious, people, just go take the naturalization test. Okay. Number 2, becoming a U.S. citizen isn't quick. On average, like Alex was explaining earlier, if you already have a green card, the wait time is like 6 to 9 years. If you start from scratch, like waiting for a green card first, like you don't have one, anywhere from 6 to 30 years, depending on your country of origin and visa type. Holy shit. That's a long time. 30 years. That's what he's. Anyway,
That is a long time.
kill me. I know. I
And
mean, I
this
know
is
we
why
have
we
to
have
have
a problem.
I
This is
know
why we
we
have a
have to have
problem.
rules and everything, but crap. Okay. Number 3, if you become a naturalized citizen, you have to swear an oath renouncing loyalty to other countries. It's called the Oath of Allegiance. And some countries, like China and India specifically, don't allow dual citizenship, meaning new Americans from those places technically lose their original nationality. So there's that, right? That's kind of a big deal. That's like, holy shit. Like, you're born in India, then you want to be you can't have dual citizenship. Sucks. Okay. And finally, despite the long process, almost 1 million people successfully become U.S. citizens every year. That's like adding the population of San Francisco to our country every year, people. Holy crap. No wonder it's so crowded. That's all I got.
That's crazy.
I
That
know.
last one? Dang, that's a
Yeah,
lot.
It
All
is.
right. Well, I like the whole fun fact about immigrants. Good job. As always. And good job adding a little something fun to a hard and touchy subject. Okay, so do I dare ask if we have any calls to action for this episode or any summary, really? Or do we just say stay tuned?
Well, shit. I don't know. Stay tuned works. But I did have something ready to just tie a bow on things and
Of course
stay
you
true
did.
to our
Go ahead.
mantra
Wrap it up.
of
Wrap it up.
becoming cultured and curious, people. Okay, so staying on the subject of immigrants. Okay, are you with me, people? First, when you're having a minute and feeling all entitled, like, I was born here and these people weren't, and you're all pissed off about something, because, like, who are we kidding? Like, that happens all the time. Just breathe for a sec and try to imagine what it would be like to move to a new country with barely any knowledge of the language, no idea of the customs, and no understanding whatsoever of our legal system. And then ask yourself, how would you want to be treated? And hopefully that shifts your perspective a little bit, right?
What? You're saying to have a little self-awareness?
Right. Seriously, right? Like, I was talking to a buddy today, like, and long story, but like, he handles, shout out to Ken McDonald, the CEO of Long Beach Transit. He handles all of like the bus system, right, for Long Beach. It's huge. It's massive. And like a bunch of immigrants come to this country and they don't speak the language and they have no idea of like the laws or anything like of like what to do, how to do it, and they're like riding all over and trying to figure it all out. And like these are his customers, like thousands of illegal immigrants trying to work their way through Long Beach. And it's like, it was super. I just had a moment of like self-awareness and trying to be awesome, right? And I get, they're all like, I get it. Some of them aren't here legally. Some of them have a green card and are waiting. Some of them are waiting for their green card. Like, they're all in different stages, but like, anyway, there's no, like, I don't have some great right answer for this whole thing. It was a moment of like, wow, that was very overwhelming. So anyway, shout out to Ken. Second, try to remind yourself of the ways immigrants contributed to American culture, like food, music, business, science, like basically everything, Amanda, right? Immigrants made and continue to make America awesome. And let's be honest, like, unless you're indigenous, like, we were all immigrants at one point, right?
Facts.
Right. Just
It's
like,
true.
just keep the bad ones out, please. Like, do you know what it says like at the bottom of like the Statue of Liberty? Like, give me your tired, your poor, your huddled masses yearning to breathe free, like that whole like thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Just somehow, like, I don't mind taking all of them in, just somehow make them not the shitty people. Like, and like, just make sure they contribute in some way. Thank you very much. Okay. And finally, read The Distance Between Us by Reina Grande or A Hope More Powerful Than the Sea by Melissa Fleming, the real story of a Syrian refugee's harrowing journey. Both totally amazing stories. I mean, really read anything on just an immigrant story. They're all unbelievable. I've read a few in my lifetime. Life-changing for sure. That's all I got. Wrap it, Amanda.
And there you have it, fellow listeners. The second leg of the journey through the life of a dear friend whose story spans continents, cultures, and eras. From growing up in politically turbulent 1960s Argentina to boldly moving to the United States at just 18 to pursue college and a fresh start, this episode has been a deep dive into resilience, identity, and the pursuit of new beginnings. If we've done our job today, you're leaving with more than just a window into one man's remarkable journey. You're getting a deeper understanding of how history and personal experiences are woven together. From the struggles of immigration to the search for belonging in a new world, one thing is certain. Life's path is rarely straight, but every step is worth taking.
Amen to that, sister.
If you enjoy this episode, make sure to subscribe, leave a review, and share it with someone who appreciates a story that's equal parts inspiring and thought-provoking. And remember, every life, no matter how far it travels, holds lessons worth uncovering. Until next time, stay curious and stay inspired.